Good morning, Rogersville. Thanks for joining us again. Here we are. Let's put our, we got to pay the bills. So we'll put the sponsor logos up on there. So Will and Cassie, we're here again.
Are we the morning waffle? Is that what you're
Oh, shoot. That's our old show. I
should have never said anything.
No, you should have. That's good. So behind the scenes look at how we do things around here. Maybe.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
You're having some technical difficulties today.
I am.
And we're just going to blame it. I was going to say, we'll blame it on the weather.
There we go. We'll just be, it's not remote connected,
Pick your favorite
but
background.
Nothing happening.
Is it dead? Does it need to be charged?
I don't know.
Your remote?
I don't know. It's being weird.
I should have never said nothing. We would have never even known.
Somebody would have known.
We were just talking
We can
about
watch movies.
There we go. Turn on Hocus Pocus. Get it going.
I think we've got that, actually.
We were just talking about how you were a high-tech redneck.
I know. It fails every once in a while. We'll play with that while it's going on. How are you, Dr. Randles?
Doing great.
Yeah? Awesome. Good presentation Tuesday, by the way.
The State of the District
State
Address.
of the District Address. Would you be interested in recapping some of that for us today? I think that would be interesting.
Well,
I piddle with this.
So at the Chamber of Commerce meeting each fall, we do a State of the District Address. And I figure if the president, the governor, the mayor, the city, surely I can do a State of the District Address. Mm-hmm. And so we just do a broad 30,000-foot overview of what's going on in the district. And it's some historical data like we talked about. We have data all the way back 20 years of tax levy and assessed valuation growth, student enrollment, talked about the upcoming bond and the strategic plan, a little bit of COVID, but really more of a historical address to show where we've been. I think it's important to know where you've been in order to know where you're going.
Yeah, and it was really informative because, I think you did a great job of showing the growth in the school, how we've managed it well, how the community has always been a big part of that, and the support that the community's always given. The one thing that you said that I did not realize, although I lived through all of it, was how many times have we defeated a request from the school?
Well, we went back 29 years, and we didn't want to go into the dungeons of the archives and dig through boxes, but 29 years worth of bonds and levies, and LR has never failed an issue.
Yep.
Community has always stepped up.
Yep.
I think that's important as we move forward, to reflect on our core values of who we are as a community, but also, I think it speaks to the transparency and the partnership that we have with our parents and our community, that they trust the people that have been elected to the board, trust the administration, and we're all on the same team working towards the same goal.
Well, I think it's a huge deal, and the reason I think it's a big deal is a lot of people move here because they're like, Rogersville has excellent schools.
I just moved here 8 and 10 months ago. Yeah.
Right. And so you have people moving here that don't have that history, that don't have the background knowledge. They just see, hey, we've got great schools, and we need to make sure that when they move here, they are a little bit like-minded and want to continue to support the schools. Because if you have a bunch of people that move here that, hey, the schools are great, move here. And then when the school says, okay, we need a levy increase, they say no.
Right.
Well, that's just shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah.
That's the reason you came here, is for the good schools. So you need to be part of the people that support it.
Yeah. And another thing that we've noticed, but I don't know that we have a plan yet to fully engage our retirement community, because our fastest growing population is our 55 and over community. In LR, and
I'll be there in about 4 years.
Well, if you think about it, they get on a fixed income, they're on a pension plan, or their 401k, and so while they support schools, and they supported schools while their children were in school.
If I can make that go away or not, it's just distracting, and I don't want. I want to hear what you're saying. So I know I killed our TV there too, but that's okay.
A lot of times, sometimes those individuals. I'll give an example. My mom is a retired cook from Willard Middle School. And so she always supported schools. I'm an educator. My wife's an educator. So they always have voted yes for any initiative in their schools where they've lived. But recently, when there was something on the Willard ballot, she's like, I don't know if we can vote for it. Your dad's pension and blah, blah, blah. Well, I'm like, Mom, you're biting the hand that feeds you. I mean, that's your retirement check that is coming from that school.
Yep.
And so, but that's the mindset when funds become limited in the retirement age. Sometimes the voters of that age group don't necessarily vote for schools.
Well, I think we've got a lot of new young families moving here too. So hopefully they'll be willing to support the school in the same way that we have for.
Saw the largest growth we've had in 20 years this year.
Nice.
In students. Yeah.
Well, let's keep the word out. You moved here for the schools. This is why.
Yeah.
Let's keep it that way. Cassie, did you come loaded for bear today? Do you have some questions?
Well, I was just curious because you guys mentioned on the Morning Waffle the other day that there's a substitute teacher shortage, right?
There is.
So I didn't know, I know, is that
Are you volunteering?
No. Hey, listen, you guys were talking about it,
we were talking about it.
How it's hard to become a substitute teacher.
There is a shortage in a lot of areas, and I know the business community is feeling this as well. When you go to a restaurant and have to wait an hour and a half because they're short on kitchen staff and our goods and services and all the ships lined up.
Oh, I know. You drive down the road and it's just like, we're hiring. Everybody's
schools
hiring.
are not immune to that. I mean, we're a $34 million business with 350 employees, and we need bus drivers. We are short, we are doubling up routes. We are asking parents to bring kids to school, and their
superintendents are driving buses.
I had to drive a bus.
Did you really have to drive a bus?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, don't tell anyone. I have my CDL. I don't want to be doing that.
It's okay. There's only 7 people watching. So.
Well, like the governor, the governor of Maryland called the National Guard in, and 250 National Guard are driving 10 passenger vans for public schools.
Yeah. Wow.
I know we've got principals teaching in the classroom, serving as substitutes.
Dr. Laura Batson has served 3 days in the classroom, and sub shortages, bus driver shortages, custodian shortages. Our people are working a lot of overtime and filling the gaps.
So let's walk through that just a little bit. If somebody was willing to be a bus driver but doesn't have a CDL, what's the process?
So
what's the first thing they should do?
They should call us, and we will walk them through the process. We actually pay them to become trained, so we will pay them an hourly rate while they're training. We pay their background check. We get them certified. You have to have your CDL. You have to have your bus or your passenger endorsement and a school endorsement.
And air brakes.
And air brakes.
Yeah.
Yes. But then once you're on, I mean, it's not for everyone. It's a split shift. Let's get real.
Right.
So retirees that are not quite ready to retire and fish and golf and sit on the porch. We have moms that want to be on the kids' schedule. We have pastors who have some time and flexibility in their schedule. Farmers that aren't running a huge operation, but want maybe the insurance that goes along with it. We pay 100% of health benefits. We have a $25,000 life insurance policy. And once you've been in a public school for 5 years, you're vested in the retirement plan. And so that is a pension plan that goes to you for the rest of your life. And if you name your beneficiary, it goes to that beneficiary for the rest of their life if you pass away.
And you could name your revocable living trust and get
off top of it. You had to put that in there, didn't you?
Well, I think what you said there was important, and that's what I'd heard, and that's what I wanted the people to hear, was that it's not a situation where go out, get your CDL, and once you're all ready to go, then come see us. It's no, come to us first.
Right. We'll walk you through it.
Because we're going to make it happen for you, so you don't have to walk in there with any certification. If this is something that you're willing to do, and it sounds like you get paid from day one before you're even certified.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. So That's a good deal.
Yeah, and then you belong to a family.
Right.
I mean, it's a community within a community.
Well, I'm saying the custodial shortage. It's funny because Parker came home, my 6-year-old, the other day. I picked him up, and he had a Jolly Rancher. And he goes, ask me where I got this Jolly Rancher. And he said that the janitor had left it in his room because their room was so clean. And so he goes, yeah, we all got a Jolly Rancher because our room was clean. But I thought, what a great way to incentivize and like have them pick up after themselves.
awesome.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And then that way they can kind of pull their own weight.
Well,
when
it's
they're
little
learning.
things. It's little things like the last hour of the day. Have all the students, if you have stools or chairs with desk, have all the students, in the last, they're all wanting to get out of there anyway
Right.
at 3:30 in the. So have them all pick up their chairs and put them on the desk or upside down or
Absolutely.
whatever, and then that's just one less step the custodian has to do
Absolutely.
before they sweep. and
We did
clean
that
and-
whenever I was in school. Did you guys do that?
Yeah,
I mean,
put
we
the
did
chairs-
that.
put your chair on your desk.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I didn't
But
know why. Nobody knew why.
Right, at the
It's
time.
like,
Yeah.
okay, this is what we do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's kind of like when I was a baseball coach years ago. I'd say, all right, practice is over. Everyone fill up your glove with rocks. Every little rock that was on the field, just keep picking rocks.
Keep
all
picking
the time.
rocks. Keep picking rocks.
Shouldn't have
Clever.
rocks on your baseball field, but
Yeah.
that was a long time ago.
I agree.
Yeah.
Now, moving on from that, the substitute teachers. If someone wants to be a substitute, what's that look like?
So with the pandemic, the State Board of Education enacted an emergency clause to reduce the protocols and procedures they had to go through to become a substitute. You should have to have 60 college hours.
Mhm.
Well, now you don't have to have 60 college hours. You have to just go through a 20-hour online course, pass a background check, apply to get a sub certificate, and then you are a sub. And so they let that expire, but at the October board meeting in Jeff City, they just reinstated it again. So that's going to be coming out in the next 2 weeks to probably 30 days. And so hopefully we'll have another pool of substitute teachers that will be ready to go November
Now, is that
1.
indefinite? Like
This year? They have to do it every year.
Okay, every year. Okay.
And that's the thing. They let it expire
I getcha, okay.
like in June. And so they weren't thinking they would need to bring it back this year.
I gotcha.
And here we go. We're kind of in the middle of COVID still. And so there's a sub shortage.
Yeah.
And so what they're doing is the special piece is the 20-hour classroom management class, and that's what's being renewed. But if you have 60 college hours,
You're a sub.
then you need to get the certificate.
Yep.
Yeah. So you got to get a hold of the Missouri Department of Education.
Yep. Go to their website, click on teacher certification. There's a button for how to become a substitute teacher. And basically you send your transcript
Okay.
and fill out a form
Or
and
first step is come to central office here in Rogersville, and
we'll
you'll
walk you through it. Hold your hand the entire way. It's
I'll
like,
bet you will.
yes.
And then I guess right now people still have to register through PenMac. Is that right? And
Yes.
but you'll help with that too.
Yeah, we have hired a few years ago. We hired a third party service called PenMac. It's PenMac, Kelly Services, some of those types, and they do have to become an employee of PenMac. I just talked to the CEO of PenMac yesterday and asked, how can we reduce some of the hoops that they have to jump through? So a retired teacher or a teacher that's been in the classroom, set a minimum. If you've been a teacher for 5 years in education, you don't have to take the classroom management class. I even told him that we would pay for the safety training because we utilize Strategos for intruder training every year. That's one of the things PenMac makes. Everyone has to go through that, every educator in Missouri. I said, we'll even take that off your plate and we will do that. They only have to do that one time with PenMac. But just how can we get retired teachers in PenMac without having to jump through some of those hoops? Because they don't need a classroom management class.
Right. Well,
Right.
hopefully they've got 60 college hours anyway.
Well, they've
so-
been a teacher.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so they probably don't need to do that. Probably wouldn't apply anyway.
Yeah.
but-
But,
Yeah.
some people are still fearful of COVID. And
Right.
okay.
don't-
Last question I have about the district, because I know everyone wants to know, what's our current COVID situation looking like in the district right now?
Well, we have on our website, there is a dedicated COVID page, and on that page is a dashboard. So if you've not visited our dashboard, we update it every Friday. So you can see the trend up, down. It's the number of positive cases, students and staff. It's the percentage of positive cases, students and staff. And we see that trend. The third week of school, we had 7.7% of our entire student body quarantined. A lot of school districts had already put out a percentage of when they were going to mask. So they said, when we reach 8%, we're going to mask up for 28 days to try to stem the tide. We didn't put a percentage on that. I understand the philosophy behind it, and I agree with it to a certain level. That decision would have been made in July or early August, and it takes the decision making out of the entire process now in October.
Right.
That's easy. It's like, oh, we hit 8%, everyone mask up for 28 days. But I think you have to have some flexibility, because we had examples last year where we had 43% of our 6th grade out for 3 days. And by that rule, that's 15% of that building. But we didn't have a single COVID case in 4th or 5th grade. So why would we send 4th and 5th grade home at the upper?
Yeah.
Just because there was an outbreak in the 6th grade.
Yeah, 8% district wide is not a good indicator, because it could all be in the high school.
Right,
Right,
exactly.
true.
So
Yeah,
we
that's
wanted, it's a tougher decision now, because that means we have to use common sense.
Oh my goodness.
What's that?
Judgment.
I know you're young, Cassie, but we'll talk about what common sense is later.
Easy. Come on. Give me a little more credit.
You're that generation that didn't grow up with that. So
Well, a little bit of discernment, judgment, or perception without judgment.
Yeah, of course.
So
good. Cassie, what else you got for us?
Well, I have a game I want to play.
Let's play a game.
So, like I said, I tried this on Phil last night.
And while we're playing a game, if there's anybody out there that wants to drop something in the comments,
yes,
please do
comment
Can I say
and
one
play
more,
along.
one more thing about COVID?
Of
Please do.
course.
We just had a webinar yesterday with Department of Elementary Secondary Ed, Division of Health and Senior Services, and now Green Camp. There's new guidance coming out. It's called Test to Stay and Test to Play. So release some new guidance that more testing in schools can keep a kid in school. So if I'm COVID positive and you two are identified as a close contact right now, you have to go home because we're not masked.
Right.
But if you will subject yourself to testing.
But I'm fully vaccinated and I have a booster.
Well, then you're
booster
good.
Too?
You're
Yeah,
good.
and I got it yesterday. My arm is super sore.
Oh no! So you're like half robot right now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But those kids that are not vaccinated, if you two were not vaccinated, then you could test. And if you're negative and not exhibiting any symptoms, you mask up for the next 14 days. You stay in school. And then if you have a volleyball game the next night, you test on game day. You don't have to test again until Friday night football, but you have to test 3 times in 7 days.
Holy
and
moly.
wear your mask for 14, but you get to stay in school. Parents keep going to work and the economy doesn't crash.
All right then.
So one more layer.
Yeah. So who pays for all the tests? I mean, is the individual responsible for that or no?
Well, we apply through the department to receive free tests.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So somebody's paying for it.
Yeah.
Right.
We're all paying for it.
Exactly.
They've got
It all
those
comes
rapid
down the
tests.
line.
I was in pursuit of this booster shot yesterday, which is a whole story in and of itself. I was at Walgreens, and they have stacks and stacks and stacks of at-home rapid tests available. But
Yeah.
Walgreens was having a little problem yesterday. I had a 9:15 appointment that I made that morning, which I'm like, that was cool. So I get there at 9:15, 9:40, they still haven't gotten to me, and their power flash is off. So,
oh no.
like I've got a little $50 battery backup booster on stuff, so that like if power flashes, my computers don't shut down.
Sure.
Apparently that's too much to ask of Walgreens, because they don't have that.
Here, no big deal. We just lost everyone's information.
Yeah, they did. I mean, they were in process of taking people, and they lost it all. And then
no.
they're like, it's
Could you
going to take
imagine?
half an hour to resync with our servers. I'm like, I'm out of here. And so they said, come back anytime. We'll get you in. I went back later. They still were down. So
Oh,
ended
my
up over to the
gosh.
Greene County Health Department, and they were having a mass clinic thing, and they just
If you want tested, you can get tested.
in and out. Yeah, no big deal.
True. Or you want a vaccine or a booster, they'll get you in.
Yeah, they will.
Yeah, they'll make time for you.
Okay, Cassie, what you got for us?
Okay, so we can either say like which one do you prefer, or which one is the spookiest, or which one you're scared of. So just humor me.
It's your
okay?
game. It's your game.
So okay, do you prefer sweet or sour?
Sour.
Sweet.
So do you eat those Sour Patch Kids you have in your office?
I do.
Do you really?
Yeah, and I got some more.
Oh,
I
okay.
got the box came in, so
Oh, Parker's gonna be happy.
yeah. Parker
Okay.
sneaks into my office and steals candy.
All the time. He's like, "Hey, I'm gonna go in here." So trick or treat.
Treat.
You guys don't like to play tricks on people?
Not really.
Oh, I love like hiding spiders. I'm gonna hide some spiders in your office later.
I'll probably shoot them. You understand?
Okay. Okay. Candy apple or caramel apple?
Caramel apple.
But what's the difference?
Caramel.
What's a candy apple?
Candy apple has like a candy shell. So like you boil the sugar, get the sugar liquid, and then you dip it in that. Maybe it's got some flavor. That's a candied apple.
Now, do you put like sprinkles on it?
You can do
Oh,
whatever.
okay.
I mean, there are some people that make some super fancy candy and caramel apples.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Are you making those in your
I
class?
will not be making those.
What'd you say? Caramel apple?
Caramel.
Okay, that's the same with me. Would you rather go to a haunted house or a costume party?
Costume party.
Costume?
I hate scary movies.
Oh, really?
Don't like being scared.
We wouldn't get along with him. I like scary movies. I thought you like scary movies.
I like scary movies.
Yeah, I love
but
scary movies.
haunted house. Once again, there's this problem of me potentially shooting someone.
You're like, that's not a good scenario.
Do you remember the senior class haunted house in the funeral home?
Yeah.
Oh my! In the funeral home.
Wow,
it was super scary.
Oh,
we had people coming from hours away.
Do you remember who they put in charge of the marketing for that?
What was it? You?
Was it you?
Was it you? Really? So how long ago was this?
3 years ago.
3 years ago. It was my daughter's senior year. Yeah, we got to go in there and help clean it out, and there were body bags.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
come on.
Oh no, body bags, body movers, gurneys. I mean, it was
tools.
I mean, it was legit creepy.
So wait, so all it was you guys just emptied it out and then it was like a tour, or did you like set it up?
It was a haunted house.
They cleaned it out.
Yeah.
Because it had all this stuff in it.
Oh.
And we left
some of it because it was that creepy.
It was props.
And then turned it into a haunted house
for senior project grad.
And they made a ton of money because people came from miles around. Yeah. We got news coverage in the UK.
No way.
Yeah, the UK, the UK Mirror ran a story on it because there was a bit of a controversy.
Oh,
so
okay.
When they said, "Hey, can you do a little promotion on this?" I'm like, "Yeah, okay." And so I thought, okay, American Horror Story. We're going to make American Horror Story parlor, funeral parlor, right? Because that was kind of a big thing right then. So I got the fonts and I did all that and I took a little video and I did this whole thing up and we just put this video out there and then people were like offended that we were using this funeral home that their loved ones had been in, and I get that.
Yeah, that's true.
Of course, I'm like, tons of my family went through that funeral home, and
it
didn't bother me.
Yeah,
so it didn't occur to me.
Right.
I don't attach any special
to
the funeral the funeral home.
Exactly.
I mean, it was it would be. I would not do such a thing in an actual graveyard.
Oh, for sure.
That would seem a little inappropriate.
Absolutely.
But a funeral home that's no longer functioning, a funeral home that's going to get burned and torn down in 28 days when it's over. This is a great use for it.
Absolutely.
But it got it. I mean, KY3 came out and did a story about that. Yeah, 2018.
Wow.
But we did a American Horror Story funeral parlor, and we had an Instagram account, and it was like 6 days, 5 days.
Oh, spooky.
It was pretty good. And
I need to dig in the archives and find pictures and stuff.
I can help you with that.
Okay, that's so cool. Yeah,
I have a video somewhere that I made. I'll have to dig that out.
So did you take your gun to that whenever you were setting it up and touring
Those are kind of personal questions, Cassie.
You're like, I'm going to come prepared no matter what it is. Okay, I'm almost done here. Okay, so we just said scary stories or horror movies.
Yeah.
I'm a movie person, but you don't like scary movies? Okay, so you like scary stories?
Not really.
I know Phil goes, they're both dumb.
I like scary movies.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So do I. Okay, graveyard or a abandoned house. I think that we just covered that.
The abandoned house, I think, is way creepier than a graveyard.
Neither. Well, again, yeah, I got to come prepared with your gun. And then last one, chocolate or gummies?
Chocolate.
I'm chocolate too.
Kind of neither.
Yeah, I know. Same here.
It just depends on my mood, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
You like them both?
I could go either way.
Well, the Sour Patch Kids are kind of gummy.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like those. But, I've also got chocolate in there, too.
I'll probably have a lot left over whenever Parker goes trick-or-treating. He always has like 10 pounds of candy.
Good to know.
So I'll bring those in.
But Phil gets first dibs on that. That's
the
dad tax.
He does. Whenever Parker goes to sleep, he then picks through there.
Yeah, that's the dad tax.
Yeah.
Comes out of that. Okay. Well, Dr. Randles, anything else you want us to know?
I did leave off something as far as one of the perks of being at LR. We have a staff daycare, and that is huge for, you have a child, you're expecting. If you were a teacher, what do you do? Do you quit your profession that you love? Do you try to find, how do you trust someone with the daycare with your newborn? We have it covered.
And it's great because I have a friend that lives down the street from us, and both of her boys are in the daycare there because she teaches preschool, and she loves it. I mean, the boys love it and everything. It's a
great retention tool. I don't know that we do a good enough job marketing it for a recruitment tool, but yeah, that is unique to us.
Jack came through that program.
Oh, really? Okay.
And he's a junior now.
Wow.
So he started.
Turned out good.
Certified veteran kindergarten teacher running the daycare teaching kids.
That's awesome.
Jack started in a trailer over at Logan.
Oh, wow.
That's where it was back in the day. I was to take him over there and then go to work.
How far we've come.
It's a long time ago.
Yeah.
And then he got to be in this new building over here. And then he broke both his legs in a car wreck. And so he took some time off.
Oh, goodness.
I'll tell you about that later.
So is he a junior this year or a senior?
He's a junior this year.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got 1 year left. Okay. Sounds good, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.
That was fun.
We'll be back
Thank you.
next week. We've got State Senator Eric Burleson and candidate for U.S. Congress will be with us next week. So tune in and see what he has to say. And we're looking forward to that. Other than that, Roger, have a great weekend.